can I have everyone's attention? We'll go ahead and get started with our post-qualifying press conference here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway for Sunday's Camping World RV Sales 301. We're now joined by our third place qualifier, Denny Hamlin, driver of the number 11 FedEx Freight Toyota. Denny, you at one point held the track qualifying record for a little while today. That's the 13th time this year. We set a new track qualifying record here. Talk a little bit about the first time out with this new format here at New Hampshire.
It was about the same as all the rest of them. Really, it's knew that the 18 had a pretty good advantage there, getting it all on the first lap in the first session. It obviously gives you a one-lap advantage on tires. That was good move by them, and really it's a good sign that our cars have got some speed here.
Okay, we'll open it up for questions for Denny. Please raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you. Dustin.
Dustin Long, MRN.com. I want to ask you something other than qualifying. Obviously, last week had the rain race-ins early. Moving to the chase, new format. Obviously, these races mean more than a regular season race. There's a couple two of the three elimination races are at tracks without lights. In light of that, with the potential for weather, are you fine as a competitor with the race ending potentially at halfway, or if it's a chase race, elimination race, should it be 3/4 of the way, or full distance, regardless how long it takes?
It's a fine line. I'm not sure what time we could have actually gotten going at Daytona. Probably during the night is what the radar looked like by the time I got back. But I think if you can get it in that day, then for sure, I maybe have a tough time, staying over another day to finish the remainder of the event. But if at all you can finish in the same 24-hour period, I think you should sure. If you have to wait it out, you have to wait it out to finish it. And that's speaking of a chase race, not the Daytona in particular. But, you try to strategize around rain all you can, but ultimately, you can't really predict exactly when it's going to happen. So you just do the best you can and try to get the best finish you can at the moment. But, as far as that's concerned, finishing the same day, then wait.
Even if it's an elimination race, a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you should wait. I think that's the right thing to do anyway.
Nate, get a mic to you.
Nate Ryan, USA Today Sports. Denny, there were 4 teams that tested here. I think Hendrick, Childress, Waltrip, Ganassi. But Gibbs still won in third in qualifying. You guys were strong at this track last year. Did you guys give any thought to testing here, or did you know that what you and Kyle and Matt had last year was going to still be pretty good this year?
No, I feel like our short track program's been off really the last couple of years, and even though they won last year, still our performances at Richmond, Martinsville, those type of racetracks, Phoenix, has not been good by any means. Trust me, I was trying to talk my teammates into testing here, but they had other ideas of where they wanted to test, and so we jumped on that bandwagon with them, and obviously have some pretty good results here just in qualifying so far for the weekend. But trust me, I would have liked to have tested here for sure. Well, anytime you can get tested racetrack that is a chase track and you have a benefit of 2 races for that one test, I think it's a smart move to go.
Are you saving it for the chase track?
As far as I know, yeah.
What short track did you pick?
We haven't. We haven't picked any of them. I'm hoping it's not 8 weeks worth of racing in the last 4 weeks of the season.
Additional questions? All right. One final follow-up. Hang on just a second, Dustin. Let's get the mic.
Can you talk about as just when you go and test, how much busier it makes things during the week? Then you got to go to the track and race the next week, and if you do that a couple weeks in a row, how is that something you have to consider, and how taxing can that be on a team?
It can be very taxing, and really some of the keys to winning a championship is not having any failures and not having any mechanical issues. It's easier if you have a test team that's designated, but really you want to go there with your guys that are going to be working on the car, the crew chiefs and everyone. And it obviously takes some time away. We did it this week. We had a tire test for Goodyear at Richmond, but it was a long week. I was scheduled to do some things on Thursday or yesterday, and I had to have at least one day out of the car. 5 straight days was going to be tough. So it was. It can take its toll on you, especially at the end of the season when you've already had, an entire season worth of races. It feels like 10 months worth of racing. Any kind of rest you can get is better. Not for the driver necessarily, but the team guys, because ultimately they're the ones that's tightening all the nuts and the bolts on that car.